Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horses.
Bang! Hot dog!
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
Howdy folks, and welcome to Horses Sing None of It. My name is Ralph Litwin, and today we have a very different kind of guest from people we've normally had, and that's because this fella is a professional comedian, and he's also a councilman in Flemington. So welcome to the show, Joey Novick. How you doing, Joey?
Hi, Ralph. How are you?
I'm just fine.
Well, that's good, Ralph. Thank you for having me on your show. I appreciate the opportunity to be, could you hold up the card just a little bit? I appreciate the opportunity to be spontaneous with you on your show here. Horses Sing None of It. Ralph?
Well, I'm glad you made it, Joey.
Thanks, Ralph. I always like to do that. Anyway, it's your show. Go ahead.
Okay.
What the heck? So, this is great. I'm glad to have this. This has been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah.
It's big. We've been doing great.
We're really sorry, folks, that you missed all the jokes that went on before while they were trying to set the lights up and everything.
Thank you for having us here on Horses Sing None of It. We'll see you next week. Next week, Carl Sagan. Well, okay, I'm just kidding. Go on.
So, Joey, you do a lot of different things.
I do a lot of different things.
You have a radio show.
I have my own radio show.
And
I'm a councilman in Flemington, New Jersey.
Councilman.
Flemington.
You have an agency.
I book and produce comedy shows. I do stand-up comedy myself.
And you appear at a lot of the tri-state area comedy clubs.
I work all over the New Jersey area. I work comedy clubs, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Catch Rising Star, Princeton, Rascals in West Orange, Bananas in Saddlebrook, comedy club circuit primarily. That's what I do.
Hey, so go out and see him.
He's funny. Yes. You know, this is great. I like all these different pictures you have on the wall. I like you have the map my dad used when we were driving around when we were kids. Couldn't find anything. That's always nice. You have a picture of me up there, Patsy Cline. You have any other dead singers up there? Let's see who else you have. This is great.
The Carter family.
The Carter family. Is that the Carter family?
That's the Carter family.
That's great.
That's Jimmy Rogers up there.
That's Jimmy Rogers.
One of my idols.
I see. I know so little about music.
Ollie, ole, ole. Ole, ole.
You can take something for that. That's what he did. Was he yodeled?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
America's Blue Yodeler.
America's Blue. That's great. Swiss. Is it Swiss people that yodel or Swedish people that yodel? I always forget.
Swiss, I think.
Swiss people yodel, and we have an American yodeler. And he's famous. There's hundreds of Swiss kids. Hundreds of Swiss kids can do that, but we have a guy who became famous doing that. Only in America, so who's to say? All right. What did you want to ask me? You want to have me come down here? You want to ask me some questions? Go ahead.
Yeah, well, tell us about your radio show.
About my radio show. It's WDVR FM 89.7. We broadcast out of Delaware Township. The show is called What's So Funny, and I do little wacky, crazy things. We play a lot of recorded comedy. We've done interviews with comedians like Richard Jeni from TV show Platypus Man and Henny Youngman, and we came that close to interviewing Jerry Lewis. But he wouldn't return any of my calls, and we couldn't get him on the air. And let's see, who else? We've had a lot of comedians on the show who are Emmy Award-winning stand-up comedians who've written for the Seinfeld show, comedy club owners. We also play a lot of recorded comedy. It's kind of fun. That's what we do.
So you're going to play my album sometime?
I'm going to play your album. I will be playing Ralph Litwin's album on my show, so you can listen. You can watch him on TV and then listen to him on my radio show.
That's WDVR?
WDVR FM 89.7.
And
on the
what
dial.
time and day of the week
Oh,
is
it's
it?
on Tuesdays at 5 o'clock. Every 5 o'clock. Every 5 o'clock, which appears on a Tuesday. That's what we do.
5
So-
a.m. and 5 p.m.
No, 5, just the PM. You're wacky, man. You're a wacky guy. So,
I just wanted to make it clear.
you know, I was watching the beginning titles and all these people dancing and playing guitar and singing and piano, and I'm thinking, I can't play anything. I'm so musically, I'm musically disadvantagedly disabled. Whatever the thing is, I can't. I know 2 chords. I know the A, and I was showing you before the show, A and A minor. May I play those? I just want to play
Sure.
those 2 chords. I just want to, just because everyone else gets to play, and maybe you can include this in your title someday of a Jewish guy who can't play music. Hold on, I know 2 chords. I know this one. Can we get a close up on that? Can we get a close up on my hand right there? Can we do that? This camera? That camera right there? Can we get that? Right there? Okay. No, I guess not. Okay. I know this chord, and I know this chord right here. That's it.
Very good.
I know I can play no songs. Okay, so I just wanted to do that just because you're going to be playing for us, aren't you?
Later
Sure,
on,
it's
yes,
hard
I'll
to
play a
pick,
song.
so. What else is going on? What else doing? I'm a councilman in New Jersey, which is my dabble in politics, which is a lot of fun. I enjoy just put that pick anywhere. Just put it anywhere. So I'm doing that moving around. The director told me not to do, so I'm doing that. I'm a councilman in New Jersey. I've got involved in politics, so that's the serious part of my life.
And you ran on the ticket of my candidate is a joke.
No, actually, I take my politics very seriously. It's probably one of the only serious things I do. And I ran as we actually ousted a 15-year incumbent Republican in this whole revolution that we had last November with the Republicans winning. I actually won as a Democratic candidate in a very heavily Republican area. So
Congratulations.
that was a lot of fun. Well, thank you very much. I won. This is great. And now I'm in power. What we're planning to do is we're planning to use our police force to attack neighboring towns and take over and then gain their land and resources and things like that. So we're going to pillage and we're going to have a lot of fun. So come out, look for us in the paper. It'll be a pillaging evening. I'm kidding about that. People will take me seriously when I say that. They'll go, yo, it's a good idea. I think we should do that. Anyway.
And did you find there was resistance to you as a candidate because you're a comic? People won't take you seriously?
It's actually funny because the person who ran against me was actually going door to door, and he was interviewed as saying, what's a comic going to do for you? And that really hurt me because my first response is, well, why is he attacking me on the basis of what I do for a living? I didn't say, oh, what's an insurance salesman going to do for you? Because that's what he does. I'm thinking, what is an insurance salesman? Because that's what I do for a living. And the other thing I said was, to quote Will Rogers, he said, when I make a joke, people laugh. When Congress makes a joke, it becomes a law. So that was my response to that, and I keep my humor on stage. And I'm very serious about what I do. I think it's important for people to get involved in their own civic responsibility. I try to engage people in their own, in their own participation in the government. It's very important.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes. I should tell folks that I took Joey's comedy class.
Oh, that's right. Ralph right here is as funny as he is because he took my comedy workshop. So everything, see that laugh? That was from my class. I taught him how to do that. So.
And
did you enjoy the class?
Yes, I did.
What did you get out of the class?
I particularly liked the way you grounded your discussions in the early classes, especially. You talked about comedy as philosophy. in a
Sure.
way.
Mm-hmm.
So expound a little bit
Well,
for us.
I think it's in the beginning when I talked about somewhat is that our point of view on life and looking at things, the way we actually perceive things around us, is very important to any art. I mean, the way you take in what's all around you, objects, politics, relationships between people, kind of get sucked up in your brain and you have a response to that. And then sometimes you spew it out in terms of, like you're a writer and something happens to you and you put it down on paper in the form of music. Well, I put it down on paper in the form of comedy. So I think what your point of view is on life is part part of your comedy. Everyone is humorous. Anybody can do stand-up comedy. Everyone has a sense of humor and a sense of timing. So I think the ability to communicate that with people is what I try to teach people. I shouldn't really say teach, because I don't really teach people how to be funny. I don't think you can teach people how to do that, but you can teach people how to communicate what they feel is humorous in their own lives, and that sometimes comes out of stand-up comedy.
I liked what you said about reframing.
Oh, so what did I say about reframing? Sometimes I say brilliant things I don't even remember. No, remind me what I said. What did I say about
That
reframing?
comedy is like reframing. You can look at something which is terribly upsetting to you, but once you reframe it in terms of why it's funny, it has the power to not only be funny to other people, but to reframe it in your own mind as you get a little distance from it.
That's not what I meant. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I meant to say. It's not what I meant at all. How could you say that? No, now I remember. A lot of times I just say things and I don't remember 3 weeks later. What that was based on is Lenny Bruce, who is a famous comedian, said that comedy is tragedy plus time. When you have the opportunity to look back at something, you look at in a completely different direction. And I think you can do that right now. I mean, something that happened, like you get a flat tire, you're very upset, you look back on it, you make it a little bit different, you think to yourself, what's funny about that? And you can communicate that on stage and make it funny, making people laugh with it.
I did have a flat tire.
That's why I brought that up, because it was reality, and you were very upset by it. Now you're laughing at it. Was you got your tire fixed then?
Well, I put the spare on.
But no, it's not that funny. It's not that
hilarious.
funny. It's not that funny. I would never
Crawling
understood
around
that.
in my good clothes.
I never understood that when people would like sort of use obscenity about what are they saying? I have no idea. Like I always wondered what Ricky was really saying when he spoke in Spanish on the I Love Lucy show. It was like I have no idea what he was saying. So anyway, what else?
What
I'm here
else?
on your show. You can ask me anything you like. I'm going to reveal whatever you like. I'm an open book. Whatever you ask me, I'll admit to.
Can you tell us how long your arm is?
My arm is this long, so it's not long enough to slap you, but that's how long it is. So these people in the studio, you guys are so quiet. What, you train, okay, that's good, okay. Okay, sorry, go on.
All right.
What?
I think it's time for us to take a short break for a public service announcement.
Okay.
And we'll be back with you folks on Horses Sing None of It with Joey Novick. She's pointing over here.
Oh.
Theresa Mitchell doesn't believe in heroes.
I'm no hero or anything, but I love what I do.
She does believe in volunteering. She helps neighbors get medical care for their children.
Hi, niece. How you doing?
Ethel Lee doesn't believe in heroes.
We can't do everything for all people.
She does believe in helping babies.
Keep up the good work.
I will try.
I love you.
I love you too.
She helps mothers stop drinking during pregnancy.
We present this little plaque to you, so when you look upon your wall, you can think about us all the time, right?
If you don't believe in heroes, remember, the more we work together, you don't have to believe in heroes to be one. Be a hero to a child in your community. Call 1-800-6-CHILDREN.
Hey, hey, we're back on Horses Sing None of It.
Yes, that was my arm. I'm sorry. Hold on, I just want to see something. Okay. This looks stupid on this camera, but on this camera, okay. All right, I will kill you. Okay, sorry. Perspective. That's the game. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, my name is Ralph Litwin, and this is Joey Novick.
Hello, how are you? Thank you. Welcome to Perspectives. Tonight on Perspectives, we're going to be interviewing Ralph Litwin, who has his own show called Horses Sing None of It, which we're on right now. So, live in the studio.
Yes, ma'am.
This is wacky. Okay. What?
Well, I'm going to do a little song that I wrote for my wife, and it has an amusing story that I'm going to tell you. You've never heard it before. The way this song got written was that about a long time ago, when I first knew my wife, before we were married, I had...
Yeah, this is interesting. No, please. No, go on. Tell the story. Don't let me stop you at all.
That's
I'm
fine.
very-
And
okay.
she heard me play a song that I'd written for a previous girlfriend. And so she says to me, Ralph, why don't you write a song for me? And I, kind of shrugged my shoulders and, said, I don't know, Stephanie, it just hasn't hit me yet. So she's very mellow, laid back, let the subject drop. And it lay there on the floor for about 7 years. And at that time, I read an article about Amish farmers out in Pennsylvania, and I got all psyched up like, all right, organic gardening, back to the earth, community, no electricity, kill the television. And so I sat Stephanie down in the living room of our apartment at 20 Early Street, Morristown, New Jersey, and I said to her, Steph, how about we go out there and live like Amish farmers? And she looks at me in complete, total seriousness and says, Ralph, I'd rather say goodbye to you than give up an indoor toilet.
Aha, okay, so that's how the story, okay.
Yes.
Great, now let's move on. We have another guest who is, this is a kindergarten teacher from Plainsville. No, I'm just kidding, go on. Do
And my wife is a teacher.
Oh, is she?
Yes.
What does she teach?
She teaches second grade, but she's being demoted to kindergarten next year.
Is she really?
Yes.
And I said, I was going to say kindergarten teacher. I didn't know that.
How about that?
That's like a psychic thing. Okay, go on.
Psychic. So at that moment in time, suddenly it hit me. What a great title for a country song.
There you go.
That would make. I figured it would had to be right up there with, I'm gonna hire a wino to decorate our home. Or maybe even as good as, I would have wrote you a letter, but I couldn't spell. My wife always wanted me to write a song for her. After 8 years, I got inspired today. I asked her if she'd live with me like an Amish farmer. She didn't hesitate. She said, no way, Jose.
But your name is Ralph.
That's right. Stephanie said, I love you. You're the one I adore. You are the one I'd do anything for.
Oh, you can sing it. You are the one I'd do anything for.
Stephanie said, I love you, but Ralph, please don't spoil it.
Stephanie said, I love you, but Ralph, please don't spoil it.
I'd rather say goodbye to you than give up an indoor toilet. I'd rather say goodbye to you than give up an indoor toilet.
I hope I'm getting the words right because we didn't practice this in English before, so we're doing okay.
And you folks out there in your living rooms
Just
can
follow the bouncing ball underneath.
Well, I was just thinking about our modern way of living.
Go ahead and
Paying
think.
all the bills for them newfangled contraptions. And I was just thinking about growing food, living a simpler life without all them complications. And Stephanie said, I love you, you're the one I
I'm
adore.
gonna try to remember it.
You are the one I'd do anything for. Stephanie said, I love you, but Ralph, please don't spoil it. I'd rather say goodbye to you than give up an indoor toilet. Oh, I got to put my harmonica up.
Okay.
Oh, that was a small error in planning out.
Folks, while Ralph is playing with his harmonica, we have a word from our sponsor here. Okay.
Now, when Steph said those words to me, it made me feel bad. She'd leave me for a toilet. It made me feel bad. I felt pretty blue, but it didn't last long, 'cause it hit me, Steph, that's a great title for a song. And Stephanie said, I love you, you're the one I adore. You are the one I'd do anything for. Stephanie said, I love you, but Ralph, please don't spoil it. I'd rather say goodbye to you than give up an indoor toilet.
It's the part I've been missing. Here comes the harmonica part.
Well, first I have to tell you that my friend Henry, he says about this song, he says, why, Ralph, it's just about an American standard.
There you go. Ho!
Not only that, it makes me flush just to think about it. Now we've got 2 indoor toilets, and we both do our part. Staying in love together, though those words broke my heart. We don't live like Amish farmers. I guess I've been beat. Still on a cold night, I'm glad for a warm toilet seat. And Stephanie said, I love you, you're the one I adore. You are the one I'd do anything for. Stephanie said, I love you, but Ralph, please don't spoil it. I'd rather say goodbye to you than give up an indoor toilet. Thank you, Joey. We're here with Joey Novick on Horses
There you
Sing
go.
None of It, folks.
That was funny. Now, when you perform, you sing a lot of comedy songs just like that.
Yes.
You'll play in front of an audience, and you'll hide behind that guitar, and you'll do some funny stuff.
I do some
There
funny
you go.
stuff, yeah.
And if you don't get laughs, you're a folk singer. And if you get laughs, you're a comedian. See, I don't have that advantage. If I get laughs, I'm a comedian. If I don't get laughs,
You're a
I'm
bad comedian.
I'm a fat, disgusting, bald guy who should get off the stage. That's a whole different. You have a guitar, you're like in a whole other thing. That's great.
That's right. But if people don't like the music, then you're just a fat, disgusting guy on the stage who should get off.
See, I can't do that. I can't. It's amazing. So, this is great.
Yeah, I'm on.
So what else is happening in your life? Where are you going to be? You play around different clubs and
Yes.
in an area. Where do you play?
Well, my band plays at the Waterloo Craft Fair 4 times a year up in Waterloo Village in Stanhope, and we play at the Great American Craft Fair in Mahwah at Ramapo College. We do that twice a year, and a lot of area folk music clubs, coffee houses, and outdoor festivals and fairs. And
Yes, I was just looking at the camera. I'm just fascinated by television. This is. Can we get a close-up just right here on my micro? I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you like. It's your show.
You can be the director for
I can be the director. Can we get all the camera people take off their clothes? We'll just do that because I can only work in the nude. Can I say nude on television?
Yes, you can.
Nude. I can say it again. Okay. What? Oh. Which camera's on? Which is this one? This one? This one? This one? Okay. I like the little wave. Like, it's not. Okay. What else do you want to know about me? I guess I should go over these pictures on the wall. Can we follow this? Like I said, this is a map my dad used to drive. I think we should get a little bit better maps. See, my dad would buy maps at a cheap place because he would buy like secondhand maps that wouldn't have like 2 states. They'd be like, they wouldn't have New Jersey or Connecticut on them, and we'd drive through. And then let's see, we have black and white pictures. This is music you can't hear on the radio. That's nice. And this is, I have no idea what that is. Are you in this picture? Is that you?
That's me.
That's you? Boy, you're a little chunky there, Ralph, in that picture. That's
no more so than I am now.
No more so than I am now. So anyway, I can't think of anything else. This is David Bromberg. I know him. And this, the earth has been broken up there. That's nice. Okay, just want to walk around a little bit, get some exercise. Just a little walk around the studio to show everybody. Were you able to follow me?
He's still
Did I move too
ambulatory,
much?
folks.
Okay, I can still walk. That was, I was in Florida and I'm walking. Okay, sorry. Okay, sorry, I had to throw some funny stuff in just to get the audience laughing.
We like that.
Just to stretch on time and stuff like that. So, what else?
You tell me. What else would you like to know about?
What else am I doing?
We didn't tell people how to get in touch with you. If
Oh,
they'd like
can I give a phone number?
Yeah.
Can I give my phone number?
Yes.
It's you dial the 1, and then you dial 908, and then out of the parentheses you dial 782-6799. So it's 908-782-6799. if you want to call me for anything, like you get this tape and you want to hold me hostage or something or
And
show it.
that's your agency.
That's my agency, Comedy Works Entertainment. We book comedians. I teach classes and stuff, so it's a lot of fun.
And maybe they'd like to have a comedian come to their
Oh, if you want to have
event.
a comedian come to your event, if you're having an event, we're having an event. We're having an event, and we want a comedian who does well in an event. You have a kind of comedian that does event type work. I'll see what I have in the book. We can get you an event type comedian. I got to tell you a very funny story. A lot of people will book comedians for different parties and things. And this guy calls me up. We're having a 60th birthday party, and we want to book a comedian for his wife's 60th birthday party in a Mexican restaurant. So I send the comedian there, and I go there also, and there's no stage or anything. They remove a tree from the middle of the floor, then they stick a stand there, and that's where the comedian's working. And before the comedian goes up, this is going to be a horrible, horrible situation. The woman's sister comes up and says, look, we're here to celebrate Lillian's birthday, but before we start, I want to say that we all know that our very dear friend Sadie is in the hospital, so we should all pray for her. And now here's the comedian. And that's why I'm thinking, oh my God, that's terrible. So that was just a funny story.
Well, we just have enough time to thank you for being on the show, Joey.
Well, thank you, Ralph. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun.
1 more minute, she's saying. We have 1 more minute for Joey to be funny.
I got to do a story. So, a quick story. So, a man walks into a bar and he says, I don't know, how do we fill a minute? We just chat like this. Do you ever notice when they run the credits, they turn down the sound, and people are just like chatting like, I have no idea what they're talking about. I just want to say that this has been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed you having in my class because I always enjoy musical people who cross over into stand-up comedy. They bring a whole different sense of timing and rhythm to the comedy, which I really appreciate in what you were sharing up there when you were doing your comedy.
Well, golly, thanks, Joe.
No, that's fine. I was saying, when you have this thing.
I think they want us to say goodbye.
Is that it? Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Take care. Thank you.
Tune in next week.
There you on Horses Sing None of It.
Why don't you come up here, Pumpkin?
What are you doing, Larry?
Well, Vince, I've asked my pumpkin to sit on my lap to prove a point.
And what is that, your Larryness?
Even if we fasten our safety belts, even if you hold on tight, even if you were watching the road, in a crash, your pumpkin will be nothing but a squash.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Use child safety seats.
We love that little pumpkin to pieces.
Miranda, what you doing today?
Cleaning my mice.
What you doing?
Putting on glasses.
If you don't stop your friend from driving drunk, who will?
Now what you doing?
Do whatever it takes.